Hello my friends and welcome to episode 7 of our Football Manager 2019 Beta Let's Play with Rangers. Today we're taking on Aberdeen and Hearts in a double header that could, again, like the last episode, really set us up for the season because both the teams are around us from memory. I've not checked the league table since I was last on, which was a couple of days ago, which is why there was no content yesterday. I had some family issues that I won't go too much into at the present time. So I'm pretty sure that Hearts are above us in the league and Aberdeen are there or thereabouts. But that's from memory. I really should have checked the league table before I started. But since the last episode where we played Celtic, we got that 90th minute equaliser against us, unfortunately, for 2 big points. Drops in that, and a 4-point swing really in the title race. Before we got fairly lucky, in all honesty, against Hibs. They were very, very good, and that own goal, of course, done us wonders. We took on St Mirren after that. We won 3-1. We absolutely dominated this game. It was a 90th minute consolation goal for them that they didn't really deserve, in all truth. Tavernier, Jack and Jordan Jones all on the score sheet there. Then we played Livingston at home. Glenn Kamara opened the scoring before Aribo got a brace to put us 3-0 up. But Robbie Crawford got one back for Livingston. Proved to be no more than a consolation as Greg Stewart scored, and then Scott Arfield scored after coming off the bench late on. Before we played Ross County, and it was a very, very drab 0-0 from memory. I'm just going to click on it here. As you see, we were fairly in control, but we didn't really create much. You know, one clear-cut chance, 3 half chances. We've got to be taking them in games like this, which is frustrating that we're not. But that is the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. We've got Alan McGregor, a doubtful with an injury as well. I think I'm going to risk him going by his fitness anyway, because he is such a big player for us. I don't particularly want to drop him for this game. Transfer wise, there's nothing really to update you on going in towards January. You know, we're in November just now, and I want to have a quick review of the squad with you. If we have a look at position, we've got Alan McGregor, Jordan Archer and Wes Foderingham as goalkeeping options. I'm fairly content with that. Wes's contract's up at the end of the season. Alan's contract did get that contract extension, but other people are saying to me that they've done a contract extension, and as I feared, he's still retired. So that maybe isn't great. I'd be quite happy to sell Hollander at the end of the season. He's currently in the team to rotate with Katic and let him get fitness from the last game. He will be back in for this game, I would imagine. It's kind of what I'm thinking just now. Left back, we've got Barisic, we've got Hickey who can play there, and we've got where is he? Flanagan, who played there in the last game. Getting himself some game time. All can play there. Flanagan, I'm probably going to sell. He's on a big, big wage and he doesn't really offer enough. Hickey probably needs alone time, so we do probably need to bring in a left back. Midfield wise, we're completely stacked. But right now, when I'm so focused on thinking about what do we need to do to fix this team, I'm looking at people like Stephen Davis, who's on a big wage, not getting enough game time. As you see, 2 appearances and 1 off the bench in the league. 1 Betfred Cup game, 1 Euro Cup game. It's just not enough games for me to be justifying 20 grand a week. Going to try and get Greg Docherty out on loan as well. We've also got Billy Gilmore in there. Arfield, similar to Davis. You know, he's had 6 games off the bench, 1 Europa League game and 1 off the bench in there. But it's 1 start so far this season. It doesn't say enough about what we need to do. Wing wise, you know, actually Greg Stewart's just brilliant. Stat wise, you look at him, and other than his dribbling, there's nothing to suggest he's going to do anything. But he's actually been very, very good for us. As you see, 2 goals and 7 appearances with 1 assist, 7.43 rating. I cannot fault him since he's came in, even though he's playing out of preferred role. We've got Ken, who I've not been overly impressed with. He obviously had that shocker against Celtic. He's done reasonably well out with that 1 goal, 2 assists with a 7.12. But then we look at Ojo. He's on 32 grand a week, and we pay Liverpool 81 grand for the privilege of having him per month. He's got 1 goal in 9 appearances, 3 of them admittedly off the bench, but he's got no assists. It is not good enough. We will be terminating his loan in January, and the same for Andy King, who again has had 1 appearance off the bench. Didn't particularly impress. It's 42 grand off the wage bill that we could save. Debate of whether we do the same with Jermaine Defoe, but I think if anything happens to Alfredo, we will need Defoe, because Bonnie's not on the same level. Let's be truthful with that. So I think we need to have a clear out, as we would have said at the start of the season as well, but not just a clear out of good players, clear out of players who are on big wages, because as you see, finances are not looking great without the Europa League. I've already adjusted the wage budget so that I could renew some contracts, such as Ryan Jacks and Alan McGregor's, who both took wage increases. Did renew Jordan Rossiter's as well, but he took a wage decrease. He's still on loan, but I felt he would offer good backup next season if he can stay fit for Ross McCrory. But as you see, it's just not good enough money-wise. We need to trim this wage budget down. I'm going to get pitch side now, guys. I'll try to show you a few things out with and give you my thoughts of the team, where we need to be thinking of for January. And the reason why I'm doing that now is because I tend to record a couple of episodes ahead. Next episode will probably be the middle of December, and then, I'll be straight into the January transfer window after that. So what I'd like you to do is leave comments down below. Where would you sell players? Where would you buy players? And would you buy players to change the system, or would you buy players to fit the current system? So I've realised what I've actually done between the games is, between the last game and this game, what I've done is I've got to the record point, which is obviously the Aberdeen game today. I've changed all my team, saved it, came off, as what I usually do when I get to a record point and don't have time to record it, or it's not suitable time to record, if there's other stuff going on in the background, so there's noise and whatnot, and it would be unprofessional for me to record around. So I tend to just leave it there. But what I've done on this occasion is I've selected my team because I've went, players are unfit and whatnot. And that's why Hollander was there with basically no match fitness. Katic is completely shattered. He's at like 90% fitness. And I'm literally swapping all these back out going, I must have rested him in the last game. And then I see that and I'm like, that doesn't look right. So I've changed my mind on the team from the last time that I was on the game, and obviously decided that this was the team I was going to play. I've completely changed my mind in a lot of positions. So McGregor is in goal. As I said, I might have risked and have decided to risk. Flanagan is at right back now. Originally I was going to go with Tavernier at right back and Flanagan at left back, because both Tavernier and Barisic are knackered. Unfortunately, I don't think Hickey's quite game ready for a game like this, and Tav with slightly less fitness, and I think he gets up and down slightly more, also with Stewart obviously being a bit slower than whoever is on the left hand side. We've got Golton and Hollander in the middle. Hollander is a big risk. He's got no match fitness, and he's not the quickest at the best of times. I'm kind of hoping this Samuel that they've got up top is not quick. They did sell Cosgrove for big money in the summer. I think it was to West Ham. Barisic at left back, Jack Arfield making a second start of the season, and Kamara in the midfield. Crowley wasn't quite fit enough, and I was considering Jednalak, but I just felt fitness wise this was the better way to do it. Greg Stewart and Jones is the wing position, with Alfredo Morelos up top as usual. We really do need a win here, but it is an away game, and I'm going to go with a go out there and enjoy yourselves tonight, because for the fans it's never going to work on an away game. It never has, and we'll just skip that straight away. I kind of want to get the league table down here, because that would make more sense. As you see, where are Aberdeen? They're currently 6th place, a few points behind us. Hearts, as you can see, they're top of the league at the minute. As whipped in Goldson clears away only as far as Craig Bryson. It's a tame effort that you would expect Alan McGregor to eat for breakfast, and we need to now build from the back. That's not the way I tell us to do goal kicks and distribution. But, it got to the man that he aimed it for. We cannot complain. We're on the attack. Kamara. Oh, lovely 1-2 with Jones. Back to Kamara. Whipped out for Flanagan. Getting up. He's having a nosebleed all the way up here. He's never done that in his career. And a poor cross. and Aberdeen on the break now. They've got men over. Hilander's completely done by Samuel. We need to win this header here. But nobody's actually there because Scott Wright has ghosted in at the back post, all on his own, getting completely ignored by everyone that was in the middle. And Hilander just done for pace. Just completely done for pace. And you see there, we've got 3 people at the front post. That frustrates me so much. We've got 3 people, in fact 2 of our own players having a hug at the front post. Goldson's position's probably not too bad, but it's not good enough either. That is frustrating. And we now would be 4 points behind Hearts as it stands. And that is not good enough. We've not even had a shot on target yet. So I'm going with a show some passion. We need to fire these players up. We're actually above Hibs in the league now, even with this as it stands situation. 5 shots, none on target. It's not good enough. I know the team are tired. I know we've got players injured, but they have to be in the same situation. Jones, because it's only kind of a pointless highlight if he was offside there. Yeah, really was. It's only SPL games that we're playing at the minute, so the opposite team has to be just as tired as us. And Aberdeen are going to have nowhere near the depth that we have. Hilander whips it forward for Jones, flicks it on for nobody, and obviously still in the air. We are pressing well though, and Joe Lewis, but he does manage to get it away. Wright plays it across field towards James Wilson. He's brought it down. He's bursting down the wing. He's gone past Borna Barisic, and it goes. Come on, game. Well done, Alan. Really not happy with this performance. I'm really not happy. Whipped in. Hilander heads away. Wilson. Donnelly. Gallagher. 8 shots with none on target is not acceptable. We're getting completely done down the left hand side every single time it seems. Yeah, Barisic is just completely knackered, so we'll bring on Tavernier for Barisic. And in fact, you know what, I'm going to play him as an inverted wing back on this side. See if that nullifies that threat and helps Hilander out a little bit. Does bring on some fresh legs. Greg Stewart tiring on the right wing as well, so you've got to be very mindful of that. But other than that, there's no real fitness concerns. You know, Tavernier's going to struggle at left wing back, we know that, but you know, let's give it a shot. Flanagan throws it into Greg Stewart, whips it across, finds Jordan Jones. That could be a great ball from Jones, first time on Morelos. That's a penalty. We've got Tavernier taking it. He's missed 2 out of 2 so far this season. But this is the situation that we need. Scott McKenna with that foul. We need this. Yes. Get in. Tavernier tucks it in. Perfect penalty right in the corner. That's our first shot on target though. You know, we've been decent in this game by that stat, but you have to be putting shots on target. They've got a corner quickly after. Scott McKenna with a free header on the 6-yard box. It's Hilander's job to be marking him. And he just lets him run. It's Hilander just stands there. Aberdeen throw it deep inside their own half. They've cleared it away. Katic just came on for Hilander after that goal. It's put again. Flanagan does well, but he's short with that clearance. Does win the ball back though. Greg Stewart plays it in for Jordan Jones. He's got a decent touch here. Ref. That's got to be either a back pass or something. I'm hopeful here. I'm hopeful for anything right now because it's not going good enough this game. Cleared away. Greg Stewart launches forward. Morelos He's offside anyway. Gonna have to go with a get creative. And I genuinely think we're going to have to tell Hollander because he's just not good enough. You know, he's on paper he's good enough, but in the games, he's been a liability far too often. I want to make a sub now, please, game. And I am thinking that we bring McCrory on for Kamara, whip Jack up, and we go... We keep it on attacking just now. And we go with a show some passion again. Jones whips it in, cleared away. Wilson picks up, launches it clear. Katic picks that one up quite comfortably. Plays it across to Goldson, who's launched forward. Jones, decent first touch, decent second touch. He's got in the box, and he's shot from the most ridiculous angle in the world. And I can't even bring him off now. Such an easy cross there, and he decides to waste it and shoot. Jack, Morelos is going to be offside here. Very, very late call on the linesman, but I think it's right. My gut feeling was it was offside straight away. Yeah, clearly he's made his run well, but McKenna, I think it was, just stepped up just in time. Right with the free kick, clips the top of the bar, and it's a goal kick to us. I'm going to go now for the very attacking, and I'm going to go with the get creative. See if we can pile on that pressure right at the end. In fact, you know what? You can go on deep line forward support. You can go as an advanced forward on attack as well. Use an inverted wing back. Use a wing back. Keep it like that. We need to get at least a goal here. I've heard three strikers is a little bit overpowered again. Whether that's true or not, I do not know. It's whipped over by Katic. Morelos has an unbelievable save, but he was offside yet again. Come on. Tavernier with the free kick. Whips it, side netting. You know, to have 19 shots, we've only put 3 of them on target. It's just not been good enough from us. Tavernier loses out there. Oh, and Katic is poor, and James Wilson's in. We've committed men forward for the attack. We do get it away though. Jones. He's burst past one. That's got to be a red, ref. He's already booked it. A red for the team really from Donnelly. Unfortunately, we've just been not clinical again. It's a second game in a row, you know, where we've just not done it enough to win a game of football. McCrory's going to head forward. Gallagher. Werner. I mean, I think a 2-1 defeat's harsh on us here, but we've got to be taking these chances. You know, they've taken a set piece, which is great, but it's Hollander falling asleep and Hollander getting done. It's actually been Hollander both goals, really, hasn't it? In that situation. Got done on the wing. He's not really going to ever be a fullback right enough. McCrory, poor from McCrory. In fact, poor from everyone. Scott McKenna gave away a penalty and got man of the match. That's kind of how good he is right now. Just not happy with that performance. And Jordan Jones, I'm sure. Oh, he managed to get back up to a 6.4. That shot, when he had the easy cutback at the most ridiculous of angles, frustrates me so much. We're now 6 points behind Hearts, who we play in the next game. Celtic can leapfrog them. If you go back a few games, we'd have been a point behind Celtic if we did not concede that 90th minute goal. It's just too many silly points getting dropped like this, where we boss a game. You know, let's go and have a look at the stats. I say boss. Really, probably wasn't a boss in the game. You know, they had a lot more chances. But we've put so many shots off target, it's just not good enough. We have to be working the goalkeeper. Feels like a lifetime since we recorded the last game. It's been 3 in-game weeks. I'm a bit surprised by it. It was like almost a week before the international call-ups, and then there was the international break. Just seemed very, very strange. In that time, both McCrory and Jednalak got injured. McCrory is slightly worse off than Jednalak, so Jednalak makes the bench, but then neither were available for selection, and that was kind of the story over the midfield. Aribo late back from international duty. He only played about 24 hours ago, so he's completely knackered. Did score, but he's knackered, so unavailable for us really. And that's meaning that we've got our usual sort of back five of McGregor, Tavernier, Goldson, Katic, Barisic, but we've lost Ryan Jack as a creative player, and he's fallen back into the defensive midfield role again. Not where I particularly like him in this year's game, and I think it's a bit of a waste of his talents. We've got Arfield sitting ahead of him as a sort of essential box-to-box guy. We've got Kamara alongside him playing the creative role. Ideally, I would like to swatch Jack and Kamara around, but just my coaches say that this is the best way to do it, so I have to really trust them in all honesty, and prefer role-wise, this is the best way to do it as well. We've got Greg Stewart, Ryan Kent and Alfredo Morelos leading the line. I'm a bit nervous for this. Hearts top of the league. Not that they're doing anywhere near that in real life, because realism, smashing. And then after this game, we've got another tough game against Motherwell, who are sitting second. We're sitting fourth currently, so we need to start picking up points from these two games. They do have John Suter playing out at right back, which I do think might be worth targeting, because, you know, he's a good defender, but he's not exactly a right back. He's much more of a ball player. And probably a defender at that, so let's give the fans the performance that they're expecting. We did play 3 friendlies during that international break, just 3 random ones sort of spread out. We won them all fairly comfortably. It was just another sort of, you know, pick up morale situation, hopefully to, you know, boost things. One of the reasons for that is why Boney is on the bench over Defoe. He played all of them, he scored a few goals, but his match fitness was much better than Jermaine Defoe's, who's now going to get some games in the youth sides to get that match fitness back up. Going to give a get creative here. We've started brightly by the looks of the stats, but no highlights as of yet. We've also made a signing for January. We have signed on a free transfer Luciano da Costa, maybe? The lad from DC United. This is obviously my first video recording since I will be making my FM Creators YouTube channel debut, and he's one of the players that I recommended for that, and I thought, let's go and get him. He is very, very good. That's over the top, and Connor Washington's going to beat Tavernier for pace here. Oh, he's hit the post. Oh, the game's given it as a McGregor save. That's a cracking save if it was. Straight away another highlight. Greg Stewart switching it to Ryan Kent. That's very, very poor from Kent. Barisic, good ball in though. Greg Stewart, good save from Pereira. And Stewart again shooting from the stupidest of angles. I know they're talking about fixing the match engine, so, and I know it's a beta, so I'm trying to be fair. As Jack's headed it back to Barisic, who's switched off. Thankfully, they're also shooting from stupid angles. But Barisic switching off there is not good enough. We'll go for another get creative, as we've got about 10 minutes of this half left. Greg Stewart picking up a knock. That's not the most ideal, because he is by far our best performing winger. I'm going to go with an assertive. I am not happy. They're all fired up. We're going to keep Greg Stewart on just because everyone was fired up there, and send them back out and hope that we can get something out of this game. It looks like an instant highlight, and it was João Pereira with a save. We've got the corner. I'm not expecting to see it because it looks like it was one of those instant highlights, but Ryan Kent's going to whip it in. Does whip it into the back stick. Katic, Arfield, straight at João Pereira. He's got to do better with that one, Scott Arfield. With all the time and space in the world. Poor throw in, but Jack finds Tavernier on the sort of second ball. Arfield whips it out to Tavernier. Can he find a decent ball in? He can. Morelos, it's off the bar. We need more goals from Morelos. His form has dipped a bit of late. We are going to bring Greg Stewart off now for Jordan Jones, because he is tiring. That knock, we need to really give him a rest. Kent taking another corner. Katic again, so close. Why is Kent taking my corners on that side? That really should be Barisic. And I've set this up multiple times now. If it's going to load, it is. So, right side Barisic. And go with Kent or Davis. Alright, we'll go with Kent because it's done. Either way, I'm not sure why that's the case. It really should be. I've set it up so many times. I don't know if that's maybe a bug. Is there any other changes worth making just now? I've also promoted Edmundson up to the bench because I think I'm going to give him a shot in the team at some point soon. Get him going. We are going to bring on John Flanagan for Tavernier, who's tied in as well. And then we maybe need to consider midfield-wise here what we're going to do. Morelos, he's hit the post from point blank. And then a great save from Pereira to keep him out again. They're switching to a 5-back. Kent with the corner. Whips it in. It's poor that time from Ryan Kent. I wonder if my set pieces have changed as well, actually, because it just doesn't seem right. We are indeed going to bring off Arfield. We'll go for Jed Nalak. He's fit enough to play the last 15 minutes of this game. And we'll put Jack into that box-to-box role. Going to go with a get creative. We can match their focus with inspired. Only one player in each team not getting away with anything there. Barisic to Kamara. Jed Nalak. Playing his first game for a good while. Played across to John Flanagan. Comes into the box, he shoots, he's hit the post. Interesting to see Flanagan going for a nosebleed there. Instant highlight straight to a goal kick. And off the highlight again. 11 shots on target, no goals. João Pereira is looking good for a man in the match here, although it looks like it will go to Ryan Kent. Actually, it does. No, it's not ideal. We need bigger results. But against a team that's top of the league, I guess we can't complain too much. Go if we can, that wasn't good enough. And we go in and hope that we've not been sacked. We've not. Greg Stewart's injury not too long. Sigh. I guess I was about to say we come back for that game, but we're not coming back for that game. We'll come back in 3 games time for Celtic. And do we go for the break? No, we'll just go for Celtic and Kilmarnock, I think. League table as we leave looks like so we'll probably drop back into 3rd place. It'd take a big miracle for Aberdeen to jump ahead of us, so we'll probably drop back into 5th rather after the next game week, depending on how teams are playing. Hibs versus Killie, yeah, would expect that to be a Hibs win. And then Aberdeen v Celtic, hopefully that goes in our favour because we need it now. We're 6 points off the top. We've got another big game, so I'll see you in the next episode for the Celtic and Killie game. If you enjoyed the episode despite the 2 bad results, hit like, hit subscribe, and I'll hopefully catch you all next time.